this is gonna be the spiciest story from the UK Extravaganza, I promise. Like, the spiciest story from any Extravaganza. So, at the UK Extravaganza, I may have gotten myself accidentally disqualified. The reason for this is quite silly. I'm gonna be honest. It was a very stupid reason, and I think I disagree with it. But there's not much I could have done. But basically, I had created like this. I was just creating a sort of information like hub of pretty much like what I had played against, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna like share this with some people. I'm gonna share this with some people so that they can write stuff in as well. And then like, oh, there's the chance that I could like just find out what someone's playing because of this. And that was like the idea, because you know, at an event, you're always like in between rounds saying, yo, I just played against Bob McDillan, and God, his Dragon Link deck was crazy. It was like main decking Judgment. Like you get that, like that happens like in between rounds. Or like, for example, like parents go up, you're like, oh, I'm versus Michael Jackson, and then one of your friends is like, oh, he's playing Prank Kids and he's main decking Trap Dust Shoot. Like that happens at every event, right? So my logic was, okay, so this always happens. What if I just write it down instead of having to just ask the because I knew like quite a few people in different group chats. So I was like, okay, instead of just asking each one individually, what if I just like make it all like centralized, so it's a lot easier to like have the information collected. Like that was basically the idea. Turns out, it does give players an unfair advantage if you know what your opponent is playing, and for that reason of gaining an unfair advantage, that's a UC cheating disqualification, which, you know, it's understandable. I can see the logic of, oh, it creates this really unfair environment where one player knows what everyone else is playing, and that then becomes toxic. But like, come on, man. Like, okay, so my issue with it though is that literally everyone does this, and like, so I thought, like, I didn't realize it was like actually strictly against policy, because I had sent it in like a group chat with a judging, for example, because I wasn't aware it was like against policy. I wasn't aware that it would get me DQ'd. Like, I fucking sent it in a group chat with a judging. That's how unaware I was. So like, so I thought it was okay, and like my logic had, because like in the policy it doesn't strictly say you're not allowed to in the policy it doesn't strictly say you're not allowed to have that sort of information beforehand, but it does say in the policy you're not allowed to like receive signals from other players during a match that could give you an unfair advantage, and that's where the issue lies. Because it was I think the main issue is that it was a centralized piece of information that hypothetically, I'm not saying I did, but hypothetically, like someone could have been looking at this spreadsheet and doing the middle of a game. That's probably where the big issue is. And like I made the spreadsheet, so I got DQ'd for it, and that makes sense, right? If like having that information accessible during a game, like, because it is accessible during the middle of a game, is like the thing. So it is receiving notes during the middle of a game, and that's where the issue lies, I think. But then, like, I don't know. I can't really prove that I wasn't looking at it in between rounds. Cause so basically, okay, let me tell you how like my tab was set up. Okay, so this is like the spreadsheet tab. and then this is the tab with the timer on. And I hate loosening time, so I always have the timer up on this screen, and then on my, so I have two monitors. On my left monitor is the timer, on the right monitor is Discord with the like game, so that I can like pay attention, and that's how my setup is. Which means that because I don't close it, because I didn't think it would be, I didn't think it was against policy, so I wasn't trying to hide anything, you know, which makes sense, right? So I did have this open, but my name should have been idle. Is the thing that my name would have popped up as idle, but like because I could technically just go, okay, boost boss. I guess that's like the issue. But I at this point it's just like he said, she said, but I can promise, I guarantee that I was not looking at in between rounds, and even then, none of my opponents were on the sheet because everyone else who was like putting stuff in were like X1. So that I didn't get like any information out of it anyway. So it's just like, yeah, and it was just basically like passing notes in between like rounds with your opponents. Like that was basically it. But like, I don't know, basically I'm getting banned. I'm not getting banned yet. And hopefully I won't. If I do, that's gonna be pretty sad, right? But I did get DQ'd for something that basically everyone does, which is like why I'm kind of sad. Because I was doing well. I was like 2-0. I was pretty confident in my hand game 3. And I'm pretty sure I was gonna win game 3. In like round 3, so I ended up getting DQ'd. Did they make you fill in the DQ sheet? Yeah. If you get DQ'd, you have to fill in the DQ sheet. Like that's part of policy as well. If you get DQ'd, you have to fill in a DQ sheet at any like etc. event. I mean, it's probably also because you create a much more efficient environment to snare with opponents. I mean, like, yeah. I'm not saying that they were wrong to DQ me. I can understand that I understand that I had maybe interpreted the policy wrong, and this is something I'm not gonna do again now that I know it's strictly against policy. Like this is just like a one-off thing. It's usually written on the DQ sheet. It's just like basic account of like your perspective of the story. Like, have you ever had like a detention in high school? You just like, oh, why did you get detention? It's like, it's basically that. It's like, I got dragged into a voice chat in the middle of a round, and they explained to me how it was against policy, and that it was like UC cheating. And so like at that point I was like, okay, no, fine. I messed up. I interpreted the policy wrong. I'll accept that. There's just like no way I can prove that I wasn't like looking at it mid-round, and that's like an issue. This is a thing literally everyone does. Like, sharing this information is a thing that everyone does at like every event. So I thought it would be okay to like have a sort of more centralized, easier to access, not like easier to access, but like easier to know like in between rounds. Because I'm not using it doing a round because that's the city, but like it was just for like mid-round so that I would know what they're playing before I played against them. But that did create, I mean, it's nothing special the moment you enter top cut, everyone knows your deck. And like, not even that, like, yeah, I mean, no, the problem is that it's the problem is that sort of sharing information. The problem is that like the sharing information is the issue. I think that's like part of the issue. Knowing what they are playing before you play them doesn't make a difference 90% of the time. Yeah, but it's the fact that it could make a difference is the issue. So, sometimes I've had like people. Sometimes at events you'll play against someone and they'll literally say, "Oh, I know what you're playing." Like, for example, I was at a regional and I had played like mixed variety of the original Thunder Dragon in my Danger Thunder list, and I beat my round 1 opponent. And then round 2, I use my mixed variety, mixed variety Thunder Dragon, and my opponent round 2 of this regional said, "Oh, you're the guy playing Danger Thunder with mixed variety Thunder Dragons," and like this event is like basically a regional, so like it's quite easy to get access to all the knowledge, like to all the decks everyone's playing. Like basically, like you could just go between. You can just go between tables. Like, if it was an actual regional, not a remote duel event, you could literally just go around the tables and see what people are playing. So I don't think like it being remote duel actually makes it harder to do this. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait to see what happens. I think the DQ was hella silly though. Like, no, it wasn't. It's like. No, it makes sense because it's like it's gaining an unfair advantage over other players, but like at that point you're gonna have to DQ everyone, right? Because like everyone says info in between rounds, and like that's the issue. Like, I don't mind the DQ because like doing the whole like spreadsheet, that was hella sweaty. That was incredibly sweaty, and I'll admit that was definitely going a bit overboard. But like if sharing the information in between rounds is an issue, then like you literally need to DQ everyone. So if I end up like getting banned for this, I'm gonna be very sad. Like if I get banned for something everyone fucking does, you know? And like okay, dude, you should see what WAF does. Like for I know the LCS aren't official Konami, but like. Every LCS, WAF has like a spreadsheet of every single fucking person after round 1 or 2. They just go like, click table, or playing this, exit, spectate another game, playing this. But yeah, like, I know that's like LCS unofficial, but it's like, I don't know, it's just like that sort of attitude all these players have. Like, literally every player is like, okay, how can I gain the most advantage that I can? And part of that is just having like social connections and using those social connections to try to like help each other. Like it's just part of like helping your friends. If you get banned, how long will it be? The minimum a ban can be is a year. And the suspended playlist recently got updated, which means that I won't know if I'll get banned until like 2 months from now. I feel like information sharing is part of the game though, because like, it's like the game is it's a social game. It's about, you know, it's like, okay, think of the anime. Yeah, I think it's all about your friendships. It's all about like making friends and those friends helping you on. Right, that's the whole basis of the anime, and that sort of carries on into the card game. And like this is just a part of that, right? Like you're asking for information like between the rounds. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if I'm not banned, I'll play because I like playing the game. I'm not gonna do the spreadsheet again. I've made this mistake once. I'll be a lot more hands off. I'm literally not going to even talk to people in between rounds. I mean, I will, but like not about the. I'm literally. Can you still play LCS and unofficial? Yeah, because those aren't Konami. But I don't like the LCS because I hate playing on Duel Nimburg. But like. Next event, I'm definitely going to be like, don't talk to me about the Extravaganza or whatever. I literally don't want to get DQ'd again. The worst part is that it didn't help me at all. The worst part is like all the people I shared it with were like fucking X1 immediately, and the people they lost to were also X1. I gained absolutely nothing out of this. I'm probably talking about this now because like, in a few months I could just be banned, and that's just like unfortunate. It's just unfortunate. Because I had this. It would mean that I finally get to finish playing Yakuza on stream. So maybe it's not all too bad. If they had it live streaming, do you think it would have been a different story? Probably because I wouldn't have. Like, just naturally because I wouldn't be talking with my friends in between rounds, then it would probably be. I'd be talking to like Twitch chat. It would be a different story if I was streaming. Also, like, if they're live streaming, I mean, it's like if they're live streaming, I can't really prove that I haven't that I haven't had it on a second monitor. So it's like the same thing, it's just I wouldn't have made it in the first place if I was streaming, because I wouldn't really be talking to that many people outside of Twitch chat. Oh, that's much quieter. Yeah, that's much better. I mean, okay, yeah, at YCS's, literally... Okay, at YCS's, I've seen people on, like, the Friday, when everyone's pre-reg doing, writing their notes, I've seen people with, like, a fucking notepad, just going around table going, do I have a fucking pen? I've usually seen people at, like, YCS's on pre-reg, like, just walking around tables, seeing what people are doing, and just going... Like, you see that every fucking YCS. Like, is that not allowed? Like, it's like basically, that's like basically the same thing, right? So is that not allowed either? Either? There's like not really much I can do now though. So like, I guess if I get banned, this is gonna be a great fucking video that saying I got banned for spreadsheet.